Hey y'all, come on in the kitchen because Mama's fixing to fry up some chicken with her crooked glasses. Eddie, I believe one of my ears is lower than the other. All my glasses sit like this.
Mine do too.
You do? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I've heard that nobody's ears are perfectly. All right, now if I wear it way up here, it's perfect. Mama's frying chicken today. And I don't know of a person that doesn't like fried chicken, y'all. But it can be challenging to cook at home. The biggest problem is if you're frying it in deep fat, regulating that temperature of that oil or whatever you're using, whatever kind of fat you're cooking in, because that's the secret, holding that temperature. But I'm gonna show you how to fry chicken and put it in your oven. So now I've got a half a chicken right here. I've got buttermilk. I've got plain yogurt. And let me get a scooper, a pooper scooper. So I'm gonna mix my buttermilk. It's funny, I love buttermilk so much, but you couldn't pay me enough money to drink it. And my grandparents, especially my grandmother and grandfather Hires, I remember on Sunday nights when they get home from church, they would pour them a big old glass of buttermilk and then crumble up the cornbread from the earlier meal and salt and pepper it. And they drank it like it was a milkshake. And I never could understand that. I've never had the guts to try it, y'all. But it sure does make cakes and cornbread and salad dressings. Makes it so wonderful. All right, I've got 2 teaspoons of a brown spicy mustard that I'm gonna add to that. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of paprika. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of dried tarragon. And then I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of hot sauce.
Nice and easy, choo choo choo.
Yep, 2. Teresa said 2. So this is not like the way we do it at the restaurant. You know, if I was cooking it Lady and Sons or Paula Deen's Family Kitchen style, I'd be using about a half a bottle of that hot sauce. So I'm just gonna mix this up real good. And that paprika in there is gonna help it, you know, turn nice and brown in the oven. Kind of like it's been fried. That kind of looks like, what does that look like, Eddie? Kind of looks like Thousand Island dressing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sure does. All right, now I'm gonna pour my chicken. I'm not gonna pour it, I'm gonna place it in a resealable bag. I can't ever tell. Yep, now it's open. This is a beautiful chicken. Teresa had the butcher cut it up for us. So that was nice. You know, the butchers don't do a whole bunch of butchering anymore. Did you know that, Eddie?
No, but we did get to go to a nice butcher shop over the weekend.
Yeah, you got to find an independently owned little grocery store because I think there's so many rules and regulations, you know, with could you hold that open a little bit, Eddie, please? Because I don't want to lose this because that's where my tarragon is. And I adore tarragon. I love it. To me, it just makes a béarnaise sauce. All right. So this is the hardest part of the whole deal, y'all. We've got to let that marinate for an hour and a half. And you'll want to make sure that you, in that hour and a half, that you turn it real good so that each piece is covered. I'll let the air out of it. Make sure every piece of chicken gets coated good. And after it's marinated, I'm gonna mix some oatmeal and some flour together. And we're gonna toss them in that and place it in the oven and bake it. And hopefully you'll like it almost as good as you do deep fried chicken. So in the refrigerator, an hour and a half. I'm gonna set the timer, and when the timer goes off, I will come back and show you the rest of the steps. Okay, y'all, it's been an hour and a half. I'm pulling the chicken out, and I'm gonna mix together our flour and our oatmeal. And, you know, y'all feel free now. If there's anything in the marinade that you don't really care for, make it your own. And if you like Italian seasoning instead of tarragon, use it. So just put the flavors in that you like. And doing it in this bag is a wonderful, wonderful way. Now I'm gonna just shake off the excess, and I'm gonna coat one piece at a time.
Now, what is the oatmeal, like substituting from like your regular recipe?
It's
Like
not substituting
cornmeal or-
anything. It's just a nice addition. It's kind of like when I mix flour and panko together, Eddie. It's just another form of breading. You know, a different form.
An extra crunch.
Yes. Look at that pretty leg. Okay, so I place that skin side down. A leg, it's just gonna have to go down because all sides have the skin. And I'm gonna, it was starting to coat up on my fingers. I could have baked my fingers.
Please don't do that.
I'm not.
We need you for more recipes.
Okay, good. All right, now let's see, what is that? I think that's the thigh, yeah. Yippee, yippee. Yeah, I love mixing panko with my flour. It just adds such a nice crunch. We could have stood a little bit more flour and oatmeal. I'm gonna have a little bit more, Teresa.
Okay, well, we've got plenty.
All right, let me reach in here and pull out a wing. You know, of course, I almost say this about every piece of chicken, but the wing is like up there at the top 10 of my favorites. Of course, it's white meat, which
Are there really top 10 pieces of chicken? I didn't think there was 10 body parts for
No,
chicken.
in my top 10 favorites
Of food.
of chicken.
Oh.
Of chicken, the
Well,
different
what, top
pieces.
10? What's your top before that?
I love a thigh. I
Okay.
love a thigh. All right, now this is a great big breast. And you know what? I think I'm gonna take him off here, Teresa,
Okay.
and cut him in two.
So he'll cook.
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna just lay him right
You need a
there.
meat cleaver?
Yeah, cause I want all the pieces to get done at like the same time. And I don't wanna have to,
That's as closest to one.
thank you, that's perfect.
Your prep chefs will be glad when we get into a house where everything is
I
all in
know.
the same place every
I
time.
know. Okay, see how easy, that's the finest knife in the world, right there. Okay, skin side down. Skin side down. Okay. And you know what I think I'm gonna do? I don't say this in the directions, but I think I'm gonna spray it a little bit with the non-stick spray. Since we're not using any kind of oil or fat. So I think this will help it brown. And that's how we do it in the air fryer. And like I said, that helps make it crispy. All right, so we're gonna put this in the oven at 350 and we're gonna bake it for about 40 to 45 minutes. And you know what I'm giving you is just a range because my chicken may be smaller than your chicken. I buy small chickens. If I can find a 2.5 pound chicken, I mean, I'm all over it. But if you're buying like store brands, they're gonna be close to the size of a hen. So I buy my chicken from Chicken Specialty operations. So
just check your temperature guide.
yes, so you'll need to use your temperature probe. So that's it. 40 minutes, hopefully we're gonna bite into a nice, crunchy, delicious, seasoned piece of chicken. Okay. This oven says 450. That's what it says. I thought it said 350. I just told them 350.
Did I preheat oven to 450?
Oh, okay. See, it looked like 350 to me. Because I ain't got but one eye. So 450, y'all. Preheat your oven to 450 and we're going to bake it for 40 to 45 minutes.
We'll be back.
Oh, and I meant to tell y'all, that first round with the chicken, I started getting hot, so I threw my hair up. I had to get it off my neck. Don't like a hot flash. And one was a-coming. Okay, y'all, here is our oven fried chicken. We cooked it for about 45 minutes. And remember, we coated it in flour and oatmeal. We mixed those together. So if you're trying to cut calories, this is a pretty good way. And one day, I'm gonna show you how I make fried chicken in the air fryer. And hopefully you can try it both ways and choose the one that you like the best. But everybody likes fried chicken, right?
Yes.
Mm. It's so hot. It's so good. Love the crunch. Things are looking good. I'm not supposed to say that, am I? That's somebody else's chicken. Yum. Y'all enjoy. Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.